Hi guys, my name is Sonali and welcome back to my channel The Happiness Company. We are currently reviewing the book The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. And interestingly, I came across something that I felt I should share it with you guys. If you've noticed, changes are not always easy. Although change is the only constant and it helps you grow in a better way, it can be a difficult task to change your habits, isn't it? Now, if you want to change your habits, try and focus on the keystone habits and try and focus on achieving small wins. Trust me, this is going to completely change the way you have been, approaching your habits. Not all habits are equal. Some habits have a lasting impact, some have a transformatory impact on your entire day. That is why you would have noticed successful people tend to stay fit, tend to have one habit at least, which helps them in all the other areas. You see, the keystone habits have such a huge impact that it spills onto the other areas as well. And that is why some people you would see, they focus completely on the morning routine. Say they go for a run, they at least exercise in the morning or evening, because that energy spills to their other areas. It makes them eat better, it makes them more active, more disciplined, it makes them good time managers. And at the end of the day, I think it's very important that you have the right energy to sustain throughout your day. Isn't that so? So, certain keystone habits are so integral to our existence and to our daily life that changing those habits actually end up bringing change in other habits as well. Well, it might not directly influence it, but let's say you are not a morning person and you take up a morning habit like going for a run, or you do intermittent fasting. Try and see the kind of impact it's going to have on you, because once you change keystone habits, the energy and the kind of impact it has, it spills onto the other areas, like I told you guys before. Keystone habits are fairly impacted by small wins, early wins, which is fairly easy to attain. And once you're able to do that, you can, it makes you believe that, any success in your keystone habit makes you believe that changes are possible in the other spheres of life too. And that is what helps you, change other subsequent habits as well. Let me tell you about one of the important keystone habits, willpower. Yes, we never thought willpower could be a habit. We always thought it's an inherent characteristic, right? Now think about it this way. There are days when you hit the gym and you exercise and it comes to you naturally, you can exercise. But there are other days when you can't leave your sofa, right? You're just lying out there because you lack willpower. Now this is something which is, willpower is something which is very essential to your success. If you exert yourself too much, you are going to deplete your willpower. It's like working on a very tedious worksheet. And it can be strengthened by specific projections of plans that, about the obstacles that come into your way. Willpower is something that helps you fight all the obstacles and all. It's not an inherent characteristics, rather it's a habit. And that's why when people do exercises, all of those athletes, they work on their willpower, they work on their stamina. Because at the end of the day, your success is largely contributed by the kind of willpower you have. It's something that's very inconsistent, and once you start focusing on building your willpower, you can actually win the most difficult tasks. You can actually end up being one of the most successful people if you master this keystone habit. I found that the best way to sort of conserve my willpower is to put my life on autopilot mode. Yes, and you can quickly develop these good habits which can which does not need you to take a decision every day, which does not need you to motivate yourself every single day, and that way you can use your willpower when it's really required. I found that changing your habits is most successful when your cues and your rewards remain the same. But instead, if you just change your routine, your actions will change. I have tried this, and towards the end of the day when I was tired, instead of drinking a cup of coffee, I would go for a walk. It was more refreshing and gave me more energy to sort of come back and work again. Changing habits is a hard and a daunting task if you don't understand the entire circle of forming a habit. I hope this was helpful. We will talk more about habit in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys.